Across the centuries, humanity has built monuments to power, empires that ruled the world, believing their strength would last forever. From the marble pillars of Rome to the golden towers of Spain, from the red banners of Britain to the shining cities of America, every empire has followed the same ancient rhythm. First comes unity, then ambition. Ambition becomes greed.
Greed bride corruption.
And corruption invites collapse. The pattern never changes. Only the names do. Each empire believes it is unique, immune to the failures of the past. But history is a mirror, not a memory, and those who refuse to see their reflection are doomed to repeat it. This is the story of how the greatest civilizations in history rose, ruled, and fell, and how their fate may soon repeat in our own time. It began in the heart of the ancient world, Rome. What started as a humble republic of farmers and soldiers became a force that conquered nations and shaped civilizations. Rome's strength was not just in its armies, but in its discipline. Its legions marched with order. Its citizens believed in duty. Its leaders once served with honor. But as wealth poured in from conquest, discipline faded. Citizens became spectators, and power shifted from the Senate to emperors who worshipped themselves as gods. Gladiators fought for amusement while politicians fought for control. The Roman elite built palaces, not armies. They traded duty for pleasure and truth for propaganda. And so, when the barbarians came, not with greater strength, but with greater unity, Rome was already defeated from within. It didn't fall in one day or one battle. It decayed, slowly, quietly, until the eternal city forgot why it was great. Rome's empire ended not by invasion, but by indulgence. Centuries later, a new empire rose, Spain. Fueled by faith and fortune, Spanish explorers sailed across oceans, bringing back unimaginable wealth. Gold from the Americas flowed into Spanish ports, filling the empire's treasury beyond measure. But with gold came greed. Instead of investing in its people, Spain drowned in luxury. Its kings believed the wealth of the New World would last forever. But empires built on plunder have shallow roots. The flood of silver caused inflation. Endless wars drained the coffers. Religious intolerance silenced progress. Spain became a victim of its own success. The very riches that once made it mighty became its poison. By the time its enemies rose, the Dutch, the French, the British, Spain was too heavy to move and too proud to adapt. Its fleets sank, its colonies rebelled, and the sun that never set finally vanished below the horizon. Then came the British Empire, the greatest the world had ever known. Born from the Industrial Revolution, powered by innovation, and guided by exploration, Britain mastered trade, technology, and governance. Its ships carried goods and ideas across every ocean. Its language became global, its influence unmatched. But with power came arrogance. Britain's reach grew too wide, its colonies too many. The world wars strained its strength, and the empire's moral confidence began to fade. The ideals of liberty it preached abroad were denied at home. As the colonies demanded freedom, Britain could no longer hold its grip. By the mid-20th century, the empire began to dissolve, not in defeat, but in exhaustion. After centuries of glory, the British Empire quietly handed the torch to a new superpower, the United States. For 2 centuries, the United States has stood as the symbol of freedom, democracy, and innovation. Its rise was faster than any empire before it, from revolution to global dominance in less than 200 years. It built skyscrapers, conquered the skies, and reached the moon. This culture shaped the modern world. But every great power faces its test. Like Rome, it has tasted wealth and excess. Like Spain, it has stretched its influence too far. Like Britain, it carries the burden of global leadership. Economic inequality widens, political division deepens, and truth itself has become a battlefield. Endless wars and overconfidence have weakened the very foundations that made it strong. Technology, once its triumph, now feeds chaos and disconnection. The world watches as history writes its familiar warnings, not in ancient scrolls, but in headlines. The same forces that ended the old empires are stirring once again. And like all who came before, America must decide, renew or repeat. If history is a circle, then every empire walks its circumference. They begin in unity and rise through struggle. They expand in victory, grow proud in wealth, and rot in peace. Moral decay follows material success. When comfort becomes the goal and courage becomes rare, decline begins. Rome had its bread and circuses. Spain had its gold and pride. Britain had its industry and ego. And America has its technology and distraction. The tools change, but the pattern remains. Empires don't fall because of enemies. They fall because they forget what made them strong. Discipline fades, purpose disappears, and civilizations, like men, die when they lose their will to live. Rome believed it was eternal. Spain believed it was divine. Britain believed it was invincible. And America believes it is different. But history has no favorites. Every empire, no matter how powerful, must face its reckoning. The collapse does not begin with invasion, it begins with apathy. Not with war, but with forgetfulness. The empires of the past have fallen into silence. Only their ruins remain as whispers to the living. And perhaps the greatest lesson they leave us is this. If we forget why civilizations rise, we will surely remember why they fall. Because the pattern never dies. It only waits for the next empire to repeat it.